I
First of all, I love Motown music,
yeah,
so it's like
the
so much
music's
fun.
so great, and I love the opening. The opening number was phenomenal.
Okay, but can we finally admit the fact that we have two amazing hosts that we finally got to see dance in the opening
Got
number?
to
Come on.
dance like that. I loved it because it like puts the focus on the dance again. And so it was
Yes.
so good. Oh,
Yes, if you watch seriously anything from this week, watch the opening number. Like it was so much fun. The like dancing through the lines with like them alongside and like coming up the middle and doing like their little dances. Oh man.
and it's funny because like on the first like one of these that we did, I was like, the one thing I hope is they bring back like the really good opening numbers. And I've been impressed so far. So
Yes.
I'm like,
Totally agree.
yes. And now I'm excited for Disney Week next week. That's my favorite
Oh,
theme of
finally.
all of
I
them. So
eagerly anticipate Disney Week
it's
all the
always
time. Like
Disney Week and the freestyles. Those are my two favorites. So
Halloween.
yeah, Halloween's cool too.
I love Halloween week because you get
Yeah.
all the paso dobles and the tangos. Like you get those
Yeah.
really spicy and saucy numbers. So I always love Halloween week too.
But I know we're gonna cry next week because they're gonna do a thing for Len. The one thing I'm excited for because they said both current pros and past pros are coming. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what past pros are gonna be there as well.
Yeah, that'll be super cool. So it'll be awesome to tune in. But yeah, so definitely check out that opening number with our hosts finally dancing and showing how amazing it is to have hosts that have dance background and just how exciting that was.
So good. But then after the opening, we had Barry and Peta, and they had a tango.
With a tango. Yeah, I mean, improvement wise, Barry, keep going because just so good. Like he's really getting so much better.
He is improving. I still think the ballroom side is more his stronger side. He I think with him, he just needs to really it's sometimes you see Peta like counting out loud and like that
Yes.
timing.
Yes.
So it's just getting that confidence of timing down, I think, and also really being aware of his partner and how to understand. Because I think when you see the pros counting out loud, um, they should have some type of like signal, like they could do like a hand beat, like or something, like so that way it doesn't clue in the whole world to it.
Right.
Um, and I know some other pros have done stuff like that. Um, and maybe Pete tried it. It depends on your partner as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a huge
So,
part of this. And I really think it comes down to really finishing every move.
mm-hmm.
And when you're in hold, at least in that tango, not letting that elbow drop too
Yeah.
much, was another really big thing. So, I mean, he hasn't done a ton in hold, so the tango was certainly a challenging piece, but I mean, he's going up, so
Mm-hmm.
he's just got to keep moving here.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to just see him take on whichever role he's going to be. I try not to look ahead of time. I like to be surprised. So, um, so I'm
I
excited to
don't
see
know
what
what he's doing. I know what some of them are doing, but
yeah, no, I don't check out any of it for Disney night because I love to be surprised. I love to see who they're going to be and who they're going to embody. And yeah, so
gotcha.
all right, moving on.
Lily and Brandon.
We had a cha-cha for us this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. I didn't love this week for Lele. I think she did well. I didn't love it as much. I think like the hands were super sloppy.
It's
Like
funny.
spider fingers were
The
kind
thing
of all over the place.
that's funny is because when I was watching it, I was talking with a friend of mine. I feel like she's improved in her footwork,
Yes,
but her upper half that there's like that core strength that I just don't think she has,
I would
and
agree
she
with that.
doesn't have control of the upper half of her body like she does with the feet. So then it
Yeah.
looks
Like even in those
weird.
moments when she was supposed to be completely sideways, it
Mm-hmm.
was like the legs were, but the upper body wasn't, or vice
Right.
versa. So it was, yeah, exactly. Like it was just this, like, the upper body is here and the legs are here. And it was like, well, wait. everything should be here. What is
Right.
happening?
So it's
So yeah.
that's what I'm noticing. Um, and she had like a little hiccup and like you could see it in her face where she messed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I know like they always say like keep going. Um, but
It's
that's a
hard.
lot
It's so hard.
easier to say than actually to do that. Cause like even when I mess up, I'm like, hey, what was that?
It's so hard to keep
Yeah.
that poker face going, right? I mean, it's just yeah. So, she's another one that I think has a long way to go. And, like I said, now it's just figuring out that focus week after week of what it can be. And I think Brandon's handling it really well. So
Like I said, though, we've gotten more social media from him than ever before. A lot of actually, a lot of the pros more so. And I think it's
yeah,
because of the celebs they have. But so it's kind of just a fascinating thing and kind of cool.
definitely. Definitely.
Our next was Mauricio and Emma with a foxtrot.
Yes. I mean, talk about a comeback here. I really still working on that glide across the floor, but so much better.
So much more improvement.
Truly.
Um, I loved Emma though when they did the scores and she's like, I am confused.com. Like
Seriously,
I
I'm
was
deflating all over.
confused. I probably would have scored it a 6.
I was like that through a lot of the night. Like, I'm kind of like, what is going on with these scores?
Like we had 5, 6, and 7s. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're gonna give a 5, and I love Derek, you can tell. um, but when you're giving someone a compliment and like praise on how much you're improving,
The
then
score
you get
doesn't
the low
match.
score of 5
Right.
for Bruno and Derek. I didn't feel like it matched, and I needed more explanation of why is he getting the 5 that you feel that he's getting. Like
Right. Right.
I was confused just as much, I think, as Emma
I
was.
totally agree because they gave them so much praise and he deserved the praise. Truly, from last week to this week was night and day, and he deserved that. And I do think he deserved it, those sixes across the board.
Right.
So there were a few of those instances, and I'm not really quite sure what's going on.
Yeah. um,
But yeah,
from there we had Jason and Daniela. Okay. Like even his hands, like he did a move and like his hands went like down and like I was like, yes, Jason, I love
those jive hands. I mean,
yes.
it was phenomenal.
The
He's just blown me out of the water.
only thing I can see is like he had sneakers on, so he had the Keds. Um, I would have
Neat.
I would have liked him in a different type of ballroom. I don't know, like, and I know there's different types of shoes and like even a jazz sneaker, so you could have seen
Yeah,
him bend and like point a little bit better.
right.
Um,
Totally agree.
but like I don't know if those shoes because I felt like he should have been a little bit more on his toes for the jive a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I don't know if those
Like
shoes
hopped
were
a
too
little bit
heavy.
quicker.
Yeah. So that was my only complaint about it, but like that's so minor. But
Yep,
can we
I had
also
the same
just
thing, pointing those feet a little bit more, but wasn't the shoes.
yeah.
Same exact thing. So
Daniela, I loved how she has him like singing the step like playing to his strengths. Like that is a sign of such
yeah,
a good teacher. Like use the strengths of your celebrity to learn the dance.
absolutely. I just
So,
love Jason.
I do too.
I say it every week. I just love him.
I want them to win. Like that's who I'm rooting
Seriously, me
for.
too. I'd be so excited.
That's who I want. There's some others that I like really like in this too that I'd be okay with.
I've
Um,
been on board with Jason. I love Jason.
yeah, but like he's phenomenal and like I just love the dances that he's producing too.
Totally agree.
Um, our next one is Allison and Sasha, who had the foxtrot.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful in a lot of ways. I did feel like those shoulders were really tense. But I mean, it was
It was
beautiful.
not her best. I felt
No, but it was pretty in a lot of ways.
it was yes, it was very pretty. I don't know how much like I know she was sick at the beginning of the day, and I know there was questions of would she even be able to do it. So I don't know the they didn't really go into details of the extent of her being sick or what was truly going on. Um, but this one just her frame, I felt like she relied a lot on Sasha to keep her up. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was resting on him versus being able to hold it herself.
Yeah, but there really might have been a fatigue thing because she was
Exactly.
really sick on the floor all morning. I mean, whether it was the flu or whatever, I mean, that's not,
Mm-hmm.
you got to get through it. And I do think, all things considered, she did certainly get through it in a beautiful way.
Yes, I agree.
So you're right. At the same time, I would have loved to have seen when she was fully in her best,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we'll take it.
Especially because she had a really strong frame for like when they did the tango. So
Yes.
I kind of expected a little bit more, but like I don't know the level of the sickness, and I
Right.
wish we had a little bit more background on that. But yeah. Then from there we had Tyson and Jenna with a foxtrot.
Yes. So yeah, just it really came down to keeping that body in line and staying with Jenna, and it just didn't
His
do it for me.
time came when he needed to go home, and he went
His
home.
time came. Yeah, it really didn't do it for me. I adore Jenna and even Tyson, but it did not.
To
It does not.
me, there was just something off about the partnership, and I just don't know if
Yeah.
it didn't flow, whatever. The chemistry didn't mix. They seemed like they were really nice with each other, and I love the like rehearsal package of Tyson with like our Vales and Jenna's son, and like
Yes.
it just I don't know, it just didn't mesh, and there were moments of greatness and moments that it just the dancing wasn't coming. So
Yeah, so it was time. I mean, that's the
yeah.
thing. This happens week after week. It's always somebody's time.
Yep.
And I think this week was a
Yeah.
inevitable one.
Yep. Our next one was Charity and Artem, and they had a foxtrot.
Can I just say gold is Charity's color.
I
Wow.
loved it. I literally commented, I was talking to my mom about costume, and I was like, I love those costumes.
They
It was
were
perfect
beautiful.
for the number. It fit their style. It looked beautiful on them. It caught me right like at the start. I was like, "Ooh, those are like nice." And then
Yes.
her number was like really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think other than the elbow, I felt was really high when she was
yeah,
in hold,
which it was
but
more like the shoulder, I think, was throwing
it
it.
was
But
kind
like,
of that whole, yeah,
yeah, but when you do cheerleading, your shoulders go
totally
up.
different.
So it's a whole different technique of holding it. And I think she's used to that routine
Yeah.
versus
And it's amazing
thing.
how that technique training comes back every week when we talk. Like
Hmm.
there's always some little thing that leads right back to that cheerleading
Yeah.
background. So it's really trying to get outside of that. And I do think she's been doing a great job at working hard to get out of
It
that, but
it's a
it's not working.
mindset, but it's also such a hard physical when you have trained your body for so long. And
Yes.
it's like an athlete, your body just normally goes right into that mode, and to
Yeah.
break out of it, like it's that muscle memory, and to untrain your body, that's even harder than to
It's
train
so
your
hard.
body.
It's so hard. And they train so differently in so many ways than a dancer does. So yeah, but I think we're gonna see Charity in this for a while.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see her next week too.
uh Mira and Gleb, and they had a rumba.
Yes, I would say more and more flowing with the arms. I do feel like the arms were really stiff because
And
we know she has the most beautiful legs in the planet. But I felt like the arms were a little stiff for me.
I know I have talked about this pretty much each week, and the judges kind of got at her for the energy of the dance. And I think it's that same component. Like, I don't feel like she's finishing everything. And I think it's she's scared. I don't think she's putting it all out there. And I know
But
I've
a
pretty much
Roomba is
talked about
so
this.
light.
the
And our
last
Roomba is so passionate and it's
two,
so like
well,
such a different character to play.
the major
I
thing
think the
for me
rules
that
play
I
it.
saw, like there wasn't enough connection. Like the hips have to be closer,
Yes.
and like that was not there. And I think she's nervous in how to interact with her partner. She's nervous
Yes.
just how to perform. But like I wouldn't even really care about the technique, but that performance, like being an actress too, like I kind of expected more. But I think this is such an out of the box comfort zone of putting herself out there in the dance. It
Definitely.
she's scared. And I know Gleb is probably trying to work on that confidence and build that. And
Yes.
it's hard because as a teacher, like we both know this from music therapy or actually in like teaching, it's it's a test by fire sometimes. You don't know exactly what's going to work and you have to try multiple different things, and it might not be till week 4 or week 5 that we have a breakthrough. It just
Absolutely. Sometimes
depends.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But but at the same time, with that being said, I feel like Disney Week every single time always brings out the best in everybody and it always puts them into this totally different zone than they've been in before. So
I am
I'm
truly
really hoping this is gonna be the week.
I'm truly hoping that they don't send anybody home during Disney week. In the past, they haven't.
I
Usually,
know.
usually it's like it's Disney night. No one
But
goes
they didn't
home.
used to do that on the first night either, and here we
I
are.
know. So I'm really nervous about this. And like, I'm really hoping because I think if you say no one's going home this week at the start, I would want to see the difference in Mara's confidence if that would change anything.
Mm-hmm. I thought,
Um, but I don't.
right. Is it that fear
And
of going home? Is
sometimes
that what it
Disney night,
is?
they don't tell you that no one's going home.
Right.
And they are like,
Until the end.
until the end, and they're like, no one's going home.
I
So,
don't know. We'll see. We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. And then let's see who was after them. Ariana and Pasha.
Yes, with a quick step. So much improvement, especially like dancing like through the floor.
Mhm.
And I loved like that she was finishing her lines and yeah, thought this was a cool number.
There were two things. I loved what they did, don't get me wrong, but there were two things that bugged me about this number. And it was not so much on Ariana. Her shoes really bugged me.
The shoes. Well, but in the interview she said that there was something going on with her foot. I don't know if it
Mhm.
was like is she hurt her foot or she had like a mole removed or it's something like it seemed like something was
Right.
really weird. A broken toe. I don't know.
I don't know, but the shoe choice, like just like it just was weird. It didn't fit with the dress, and like
No. I feel like it was a very last minute decision. So I don't know if it was like a
yeah,
dress run that something happened to her foot because they did kind of comment because Julianne made a comment about her shoes.
yeah,
And then they kind of just looked at each other and kind of made a comment back. And it was like, okay, that was weird.
yeah.
Which happened.
And then the other thing is there are two. It's like the tango and the quick step. In the past Dancing with the Stars, the rules has always been you cannot break hold. They broke hold, and none of the judges
Even mentioned it.
even mentioned it. And I was totally thrown off by that because like Len would have been all over that.
Hmm.
And like then if you look at Adrian and Britt's number, who was next, also with a quick step, which I also thought was weird that they put those two back to
Those two
back.
next to each other.
Um, had a clean quick step and didn't break hold. Um, and I'm not saying like dance wise it's the same. I'm just
Right,
saying
right, right.
um
Technicality.
like choreographed wise in the rules. Um, so that was just my 2 cents in that.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
But for her, it was phenomenal. She had so much fun with it.
Yes,
And
definitely.
like, girl, she's a performer. Like, I want to
Yes, she
see her.
is.
Like, I want to know, like, when you dance, you have to act. So, like,
Always.
do we have like up and coming actress coming or like something like in the acting world. Like
Maybe.
I know, like I'm just thoroughly impressed with the performance skill coming
Yes,
because I know
I'm
she
very
came from
excited to
a
see what's
reality
coming
show.
next for her after
Yeah.
all this adventure.
So then, just like I mentioned, our next one was Adrian and Britt.
Yes.
He,
The toes are getting there for me a little bit at a time,
yeah,
I mean,
I,
he's
I,
and he's gotta keep working on his frame.
to me, it's so inconsistent because there's
Yes.
moments of greatness and moments of, what was that? Like,
Where did
and,
that come from? What?
right. And I don't have a good, like, handle on the consistent improvement. Oh, is that DJ?
Yes. I don't want people to think, wow, what is she petting this whole time? There's a cat. I promise I'm not just sitting here petting my leg or something. It's a cat. He's just the same color as the blanket.
Aw. Um, but like what I was saying with just there's parts of like such great improvement, and then there's moments of like that was really rough, and like it's never the same.
Yes. But I'm hoping the longer that he's around, the more, because I do feel like the more he's become more consistent, and
Yeah.
especially with this week with doing more like football based training, I think that
Yes.
made him feel a little more
And that
comfortable.
was brilliant of Britt.
I felt like that allowed him to trust Britt a little bit more, to be able to show her a little bit of his side and like his training, instead of
Hmm.
her just kind of pretending like she knows what he's been through,
Right.
and what his training is like. So I thought that was a really cool way to do it, and I do think it eased him into this week a little bit more. And so I'm hoping that now he's gained a little bit more of that trust in Britt, and hopefully that consistency will continue to increase.
Yeah. So then our next one was Harry and Riley, and they had the foxtrot. Um,
Just keep trying, Harry. Just keep trying, buddy. You know,
and
keep
he
keep feeling the song, keep the frame in place, don't lean too much.
he is trying, but I do say like
He's trying.
people learn differently. And I do feel the connection, I will say, between Riley and Harry, like that some of our other couples don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And give me 1 second. Can
Good.
I stop this and we'll come back?
Yeah, it's all good. I thought you were hearing my dog snoring over here.
Sorry, guys, my dog got out for a second, but everything's all good. So
She's got a loud bark.
she was barking right at the door, and I'm like, please
That's
hold.
a weird sound.
Yes.
All good, all good. All right, so we were talking about Harry and Riley and how they have this really deep connection that we are definitely missing in some of our couples.
And
But the dancing is a little rough.
yeah, but the thing though is that I've noticed that I sometimes struggle with just even the people learning is some of them want critiques. And this week it was interesting to see Harry like really respond to the positive.
Hmm.
So, and it's interesting because I feel like we all learn differently, like either through positive criticism or actually wanting a more hard critique. And like I think Lele like has even told like the judges, I want more critique, like to get better. Um, I think Harry needs a little bit more positive reinforcement to feel successful.
Yeah,
So I think that's an important thing for the judges to keep in mind to keep him positive moving forward.
right. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right. Like he kind of lit up a little bit more. Like, wow, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird to be on the positive side of this.
Right.
So
And he even like
yeah,
made the comment with Jules later. So yeah. Then our last one was Sochi and Vale, also with a foxtrot.
yes, another double here. Two quick steps, two foxtrots.
Yeah.
We had a lot of foxtrots this week, though.
I was like,
Um,
the foxtrot kind of fits with Motown, though, the music.
yes. I would say the only thing that felt like it felt really super relaxed. I would say the only thing I felt like when they did a move and then she had to come up from the floor, I felt like something was a little off.
Yeah, I would agree.
You
It
feel
just
that?
like, had a weird, like, just a transitioning thing.
Yes, it was really weird.
Otherwise, I have to say their dance was pretty strong.
It was awesome. It was totally
Yeah.
awesome. That was the only spot that just like something felt weird about it. I don't know if it was a timing thing. I don't know if it was like a hand thing. Something about it was a little weird. But otherwise, it was
It might have just
fantastic.
been
I
like the
mean,
momentum to be able to get up and it
maybe,
didn't flow.
maybe.
And sometimes that's just a choreography, like you have to like take a step back, but it's hard, I think, for the pros because they can't see all of that because they're dancing it themselves.
Hmm
And like
hmm
you can only videotape something from one direction in so many ways versus
Right.
a 360, which is
Absolutely.
what they're getting on national television. So they might have not picked up on that when looking at it.
Right.
Um, so that's a harder piece to play with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it was fantastic. It was a good way
Yeah.
to end the night. It was very fun. So,
I'm really impressed though. Like everyone seems to be in like really good spirits. Everyone's getting along very well. And like it just they're
it's a
all
good
having
bunch.
fun.
Yeah, it's
They're
a
all
great
trying
bunch.
to improve, which is what I like too.
Definitely. I mean, yes, we have some front runners, but we have a lot in the middle of the pack, and it's really hard to navigate what is going to happen
Yeah.
because there's a lot of those middle grounds and they're improving, which is awesome. So,
Yep.
I don't know.
Um,
See,
the one thing I do have to say, I still don't understand why Michael Strahan was there as the judge.
I don't either. I was really hoping they were going to kind of explain a little bit more of that, but he just kind of gave a very vague, like, Motown description. That was it. I think it's
Like
really just the
the music.
ABC partner thing. I really think
It
that's all
had
it
to
comes
be like
down
the
to.
ABC. Like I just this is my one hope moving forward, Dancing with the Stars. If you're gonna bring in guest judges, they should be guys. My cat and Jitterbug is just having a moment right now.
He's like, "You wanted me back inside, Mom. Now I'm going to cause trouble."
Okay. Um, but sorry. I hope that there's like a reason, like if they had like a sports night or something, I think Michael Strahan would have been perfect for it.
Hmm
Or like, because like, or like I could have even like, okay, he was a past contestant. He wasn't a past contestant. Like, it just, I don't know.
Which is
Like,
random.
I get like last season, Michael Bublé night. So they had Michael Bublé as a guest judge.
Right.
So like, I am very like still confused on that. But
Yeah.
I would hope if you bring in guest judges, make it make sense for what you're
Yeah.
doing.
That would probably be best, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if any of the surprises come up on us.
Never know.
You never know. That's literally it. Never know.
But I think we're both excited for Disney night next week.
Yes, of course. Always.
Fun.
Disney is life.
Hashtag truth.
So yes,
When you
can't
got
wait.
Derek Huff and Disney in one show, one episode,
You're happy go lucky.
my life is
I
very.
just need Disney all the time. And Jason Mraz.
There you go. See, you got Jason and Disney. I got Derek
Jason Mraz
and
music.
Disney. So, otherwise, guys, have a wonderful night.